So hi guys, welcome to issue 51 and 52 of the Fire Department New York. I thought I'd try and do two issues because issue 51 is components that we've done before and 52 is a continuation of 50. So probably confused you, but let's see how we get on. Okay, so this is the components for issue 51. So starting from, well, there are no numbers, but we've got a load of cable. This is actually electrical cable by the looks of it, but that's going to act as our cable. We have a reel retraction, we have a bracket, we have a lock, which I'm leaving in there because that's a repeat, that's a small part. We also have a handle. We have reel ends 1 and times 2. They are different, but they've labelled them together because, like, you can see how they're different. And then we have a fair lead rollers, and then this is the part that you'll recognise. We have a storage compartment base, storage compartment inner, and we have storage compartment lid. So yeah, there we go. Right, so and then we have a B screw times 1 to go with the B screws that we've already collected in previous issues. So let's try and be a little bit tidy, and I seem to have lost my B screws, which is odd because I had them. Here we are, put them over here. So let's get the screws out first. Put those in the storage container. It's one bugbear I've got about this: they don't supply you with screws for the issue. They just chuck in screws every now and again, and then you have to keep all your spare screws. Right, so assembling the cable reel. So we need to take both ends of the cylinder and push it in, and then we need to push those firmly together, and they're actually fairly well locked in. The next thing we want to do is coil the cable around the reel. Start by wrapping one end tightly around the cylinder. You may wish to secure this end with a little glue. Continue to wind the length of cable neatly around the cylinder. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do to make sure there's no kinks, I'm going to just run this through my fingers until it's fairly straight, because as you can see it might get knotted, and this will just remove any kinks. So it doesn't have to be absolutely straight with a ruler, but what I'm just doing is making sure there's no nasty kinks. Be careful, because you could, if you pull this tight, you could create a kink. It's a little bit like doing knitting yarn, but this is a little bit easier because it's stiffer, so it stays in a position. Right, so I'm going to go with the glue idea. I like that. And I've just had a quick look at the next step. We do have to glue the other end, so it looks to me like this isn't going to be used. Right, so this is, you'll see now why I'm going to go with the glue end. I'm just going to touch the end of that in, and I'm going to push that into the corner. And I suppose it doesn't really make a mess, doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's not neat, because this particular layer will get... Why is that not gluing? This is meant to be Gorilla Glue. There we go. Right, no. Okay, let's try this again. going to be getting it started that's going to be harder. Right, so I put more glue along the whole edge, so that's going to give us a little bit more stick. Making sure I don't touch the glue, which I have done. Yeah. Right. There we go. So I wonder if I need to edit this to speed all of this up, because this is going to take a while. There we go. I'm just going to wind it, wind a few, and then push it up. I think that'll be an easier idea. Obviously you get to a point where you can't wind any more on loosely. Right. And then we can go backwards. That's working quite well, isn't it? Wow, it's a job and a half, isn't it? I think we're about halfway through, guys. Got so much more to go. I mean, I suppose if there's too much cable here, you could always cut it, but you want to get that real full. Excuse my sniffing, guys. I'd probably mention it a few times. I've got a hay fever, really bad bout at the moment. I'm taking antihistamines, but there's only so many I'm allowed to take. That's really gone scruffy now. I think we've got another layer after this. So hopefully if we can get that last layer on neat, it doesn't matter about the bits underneath. Oh, we've got about this much left, about an arm length. Oh. It's really not that neat, guys. I'm really not that good at this. Just so glad I don't work in the fire service. Okay, scruffy that is. But I've got the whole bit on, look. Right, so they're telling us to glue the end on to keep it neat. I don't think that's going to be a problem. when I say neat, I mean keep the end on. There you go, that's on. That's not the neatest looking thing ever, but it works. That's downright awful, isn't it? Right, so now that is on, we need to fix the electrical cable reel. Okay, check your neatly wound cable is not going to unravel before resting it on the bracket. So what we're going to be doing is popping that into this bracket like so, and then we're going to pop this pin reel retraction through the bracket like that. Make sure it comes out the other end, which it's not doing. It's actually supposed to go in this end. There we go. Secure the reel to the bracket by pushing the reel retraction through the brackets and out the other end. Check you have your reel in the correct orientation with a screw hole facing you. The retraction is fed through the left side. Right, so that is then going. So how do you stop that from coming out then? Okay, right, so this is going to go into between these two white bits round about there. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Ah, right, it's actually going there. So I thought that was the orientation. My little handles come off there. That's the trouble with these little bits. Right, so I thought that was the orientation, but it's actually this way. So in between these two white boxes, and you can just see in the background, you can see the red light. So that needs to go in, and that needs to be secured with the B screw that they gave us this magazine, this issue. I wonder if that's going to go. And this is a countersunk screw. That's gone in rather well, actually. There we go. That's that done. Beautiful. Right, so now we need to fix the electrical cable reel and storage compartment to the roof. Check you have the correct orientation, and we are going to put this in to there. Excuse me, so sorry. Right, so we have this Fairland rollers. We need to push them into the brackets. Is that going to fix it in place? Well, there's nothing securing it in. It's just put into some holes. Fair enough, let's apply a little glue. I'm so sorry about my coughing. Right, so there's a little glue into each of the holes. So that is going to snap off if I catch that, for example, with my arm. For example, if I was flipping this over to do the next stages. Right. So next we're going to work on a storage compartment, and we need to get our white piece and our roof, our door, and press forward to fix with the lid in. Right. Apply a little glue to the hinge. Sorry, that was what I was looking for. I'm sure these were glued on before. So I'm applying a little bit more than what I would consider a little glue, because I know these seem to come off easy, but essentially, if I remember rightly, what the glue is doing is it's holding it in place until we place these into the actual storage box, because the next step is going to be to pop that into there. Now what they're stressing is that the two pegs there, the two holes there, line up with that bit there, so like so, and then we're just going to finish that off with a handle that looks like a badge, I think. So like a little teardrop. It looks a bit like a policeman's badge, American policeman's badge. But I'm going to need a little bit more glue, if I can find it. Okay, that's not working very well. Okay, that was the glue I just had earlier. Okay, I think the nozzle's, oh no, the nozzle's not actually. I thought the nozzle had sealed up, but it hasn't done. Right, so the badge wants to go in, the handle wants to go in there, pointing downwards. And I seem to remember, if I place the handle upside down on my finger, and then bring the part to the handle, and then I've got just a few seconds. There we go. And then we'll finish that off with a handle, which I'm not even going to test. I'm just going to go straight in there with some glue. Just a tiny drop. Don't want this to show. You might want to apply this with tweezers, but do you know what? I'm not going to take any chances. Because we will be using this handle, by the looks of things, if we want to get inside the box. And that's not gluing. That's not going in. There we go. There, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so that needs to go onto the roof next to the reel that we've just popped in, and it's going to go between the reel and the emergency light, which means that it's going this way, like so. And again, I don't think that's going to hold, so big blob of glue, slightly smaller blob of glue. I don't really like putting glue on this textured surface, because with this being flat and this being textured, there isn't actually a lot of surface contact, but we'll get out of that what we can. Yeah, that's not going in. Let's see if I can push it right down. Yeah, there's a gap. I don't like that at all. Yeah, see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a big gap there. I can't push that in unless, the only other option I've got, and this might ruin it, if I put glue along the bottom, not quite, don't make it thick at the ends, because once you've pushed this down you're going to get glue squidge, which is what we don't want. So it's not really going to stick that well. because half the surface isn't going to make contact. Now I can't find where the pegs are. Right, and let's hold that down. There's still gaps. Not as bad. No, that's terrible. Really not happy with that. It's in, and once that glue dries, that's not going anywhere. But there is terrible gaps. Look, if anything, pushing it down has made the gap even bigger. So it's stuck down, guys, but I'm not happy with that. Very not happy with that. The only other thing I can think of is, no, I can't even put a heavy weight on it. That's not doing much either. There's a good 0.5 mil to 1 mil gap there. I wish maybe we hadn't put this platform down, but I'm going to have to live with that. Going to have to live with it. Right, okay, well that's 51 done, so we might be able to give that a bit of a rest, because now we're on to 52, which is assembling the platform. Thought I'd be lazy and rip the bag open, but that's not really as successful, is it? Right, so stage 2 parts list. We have got a platform ladder, which is in one of these bags. One platform ladder. We have got a nozzle. That looks interesting. I wonder what that what that bit is for. We have a nozzle swivel base. Okay, and we have a platform control box, which, no, we don't. We do not. Right. Oh, maybe we do. Maybe we do. Let me have a look at the full list. Now that's interesting. This looks like it could be a platform control box. And then this looks like a cable run. But then, if that's the case, these two aren't listed. So I wonder if they've accidentally sent me duplicate parts. And we've got the platform floor. And then we've got, they've accidentally sent me extra parts, because they've sent me 2 bags of A screws times 6. 6 in there and 6 in there. So I've got duplicate parts there. So if anyone from Agora is watching, do you want them back? You're paying postage, but right, so assembling the platform. Take the platform size that you assembled in pack 1 stage 6. This is it here. Does anyone remember this? Beautiful little beast. And that is going, we need to line 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's screw holes. That's not working, is it? Because it should go that way. Right, there we go. So that's going on like that, and then we'll be screwing them in from underneath using our Webster screwdriver. I've actually got an Amazon delivery coming today of a new screwdriver that I've spotted. It's slightly gimmicky. As you know, I do like this screwdriver, but I've lost the end. One of the reasons I like that particular screwdriver is it has a ratchet action. But the screwdriver that I've bought that's coming from Amazon, it also has a ratchet action. This particular screwdriver, I can't find it on Amazon anywhere. I've got the brand name and everything, and I can't find it. The company is still selling stuff, but I can't find that particular screwdriver. So I've looked at this other one, and it's got ratchet action. It's got a big handle, which is handy. Now I'm getting a little bit older and my hands aren't quite as strong as they are when I first started doing part works. But one of the things is that I say it's a little bit gimmicky. All of the ends, the screwdriver ends, are actually kept in a compartment inside the handle, and you press a button and it opens up, and then so there they are. So if you want to change the end, you press the button, open it up, take the end out, put the new one in, and yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, but it looks like it's really good. Right, so that's that done. So take one of the piston assemblies from stage 50, which is these, or these. This one. Look, I do keep my things neatly in a bag. And they are essentially going there. Right, 2 grab handles. That's not featuring. It goes on the bottom. Ah, right. So it goes into there like so. And then this one goes in there. But nothing in between. Right, let's just knock that out for a moment. Right, okay, so it needs to go that bit's down, and then, right, I think this has got different sized pegs to stop you from putting it in the wrong way. What the right and the wrong way would do, I don't know. Having said that, that one's not going in either. So let's take that one out. Oh, there we go, that's in. Right, so that's not going to stay in, but that's how that goes in. Right, then we need, when the with the two pistons resting in position, take the platform base and place it over the platform floor. So that's this piece, and that is going to go in like so. Okay, so that's still not secure, but it's a bit more secure than it was. Whoops. I think this is one of those things where it's all going to come together in the end. Right. The projected hooks on the base should wrap around the T-shaped lugs, which it does. There. And then secure the base to the floor using 4 B-type screws. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know what? I'm just going to pull them out because I think they're going to fall out at some point. We need to get at least 2 of these screws in before I would feel comfortable letting go. And I put that screw in almost fully. Normally I put it in just enough to bite. So now I can check that. Yeah, that will fall out if you hold it at the wrong position. So let's get the other. Tell you what, it's starting to look really chunky and really. If this was made, if this is how the real thing is, you can see that it's awfully strong and really fit for purpose. I suppose that's a roundabout way of me saying the detail on it is very good. I say the detail is very good. It's got lots of different detail on it, but actually I don't know how accurate it is. So it looks like it could be really good. Right, so turn the platform over so you are looking into the inside and locate the hole along the front edge. So we're going to be popping this piece in. And it's going to go in a specific way. And I think that specific way is with this pointing that way. So I don't know if that's gone in. It looks like it's in, doesn't it? Doesn't feel like it's in though. Right. Align the pin on the end of the nozzle swivel base with a hole in the floor. Right. And then the next step, push the base into place. This is how it should look from the outside of the platform, which I can assure you that does. Now take the nozzle and push its projecting lug into the end of the nozzle swivel base. Right. Okie dokie, so why could we have not done that before? Why could we have not done that before we put that in? Which I'm going to do now. Especially as this is a shaped end. Right. See, that's so much easier. That's a lot easier. Really put that end in first. And then that, I'm still not happy with how firm that is though. Really not happy with that. But now the nozzle swivel base and nozzle correctly installed on the platform. Mine is pointing downwards. Why is mine pointing downwards and that one looks like it isn't? Oh well, I'm going to have to go with it, aren't I? I mean, it makes sense that it's pointing downwards because this ladder would be up high, and then I don't know. This is I don't know. I think I might be making that bit up as I go along. Right. So now push the ladder into place in between the two pistons, and we've got the flat bits at the bottom. So that's going in, and that's going to lock those pistons in place. Well, it's not going to lock them in place, but it's going to stop them from falling out. So that's an improvement. Okay, getting happier with this. The ladder is now correctly installed. Take the cable run part and align it to the right hand side on the rear platform. So that's going, there's two little lugs there and two there, and you know, that's quite a nice fit. You can easily pull that out if you need to, but push that firmly in place. The platform control box should go there, and that's going to be a push fit connection. Oh, there we go. Right, that's gone in fine. So we're still left with these flappy little pistons. We might do something with that. The control box has now been correctly installed, and that's it, guys. That is it. Why is mine pointing down and in the magazine it isn't? And also, what are they expecting me to do with these? So I think what I'm going to try and do is put that back in. No, I'm not going to be able to. Right, so it looks like these are spare. It looks like these are spare. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep the A screws, especially as I've only got one left. So guys, that is 2 issues, and that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Perhaps I'm getting my fire truck mojo back. Right then, so that's it. So I'm going to leave it there. So I will hopefully catch you in the next episode. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to do a little bit of cheating, and I'm going to have a look at the instructions before I build, because I want to know what's happening with all of these little loose parts. So take care, guys. I'll catch you in another video.